Hi there, I'm Brian. In the spring lockdown, I popped out to do a video reflection on how to connect with spring. Well, here in lockdown 3 in the middle of winter, the sun came out this week, so I thought I'd go out again to do a few short video reflections on how to get into winter. I really enjoyed going out, and I've sewn together a few of those reflections for you now, which I hope will provide a little bit of space for you to reflect for yourself on how to connect with this really rich season, even though it can sometimes be hard going. So I hope you enjoy this. Take a deep breath, keep going, and go well. It's been said that the best way to get through winter is to get out into it, and it never seems to take long for creation to help somehow. I've just noticed these gorgeous sheep reminding me of Psalm 23. And something settles. Life can feel hard going even on a sunny day like this. We can end up standing in the mud and squelch and wishing we were somewhere else instead. But another psalm says, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. So anywhere we place our feet is holy ground. It may not always feel like it, but instead of wishing the season gone or trying to rush through it to springtime, one simple practice we can try is just to stand still for a few moments, planted, if you like, in the present. Take a breath. Look up. Look around you. There is life to be found here, because wherever you go, there you are, and God is surely there too, with you, around you, within you, even in the mud. I learnt a new word this winter, and it's apricity. And that word apricity refers to the warmth and the touch of the winter sun. And I think it's a wonderful word, because in a sense that weaker warmth that you get on a day like this is so much of a stronger blessing when you really need it. And I can't always imagine the full solar glare of God's blessing in my life. Sometimes I struggle to imagine that, but I can imagine this sort of sense of apricity of the sun coming out on a winter's day and being touched by that warmth just when you need it most. Perhaps we can bring that sense of warmth to someone else today, even as we receive it from God's light and God's love. Sometimes it's tempting to take a picture and then rush off. But apparently the brain is a bit like Teflon and Velcro. It's like Velcro when it comes to the negative stuff that we experience or receive. It sticks instantly. Whereas it takes 15 seconds longer for the brain just to really properly take in the really positive stuff. And by stopping to behold, that is, to hold it within your attention, within your heart, within your soul, within your senses, there's a sense in which you move from simply consuming the image to finding yourself in communion with it, in relationship to it. And who knows, this beauty that we behold here may call to the beauty within you too. There is a beauty like this that is there at your heart, that is made by the same creator who has made this. And that really is something to behold. Another word I've learnt recently is traumatropic, which refers to the resilience, particularly in nature, of life, that life can continue even when it has suffered great shock. If you look at this tree, look at what's growing from its kind of broken trunk. And if you come all the way along to the end of this tree, this broken tree, you see life continuing, kind of rising up. And perhaps you feel as if you've been felled, knocked over, split in half by recent events. And just remember that there is this kind of resilience in you too. The traumatropic resilience for life to grow even where it feels it's impossible. When a new year rolls around, it's tempting to think we should be busy turning over new leaves. Yet the trees tell us something different. They've shed their leaves and they're settling in to rest, along with much of the rest of creation. Perhaps we need permission from our fellow creatures to rest too. I love how when the leaves have fallen, you get to see the bare profile of a tree and its unique shape. It reminds me that we each have a unique shape, a poise given to us by our Creator. And sometimes it takes that stripping back and that resting up to regain some perspective on who we are and what life's about. You get a chance to see how the light falls too, so delightfully through bare branches onto water. There's a different kind of light in winter, and it's a lovely practice just to watch how the light falls wherever you are, through a window even, onto a bookshelf, on the face of a passerby, on the feathers of a swan. We had some snow yesterday, and while it's pretty well all gone now, it was wonderful to watch kids, adults, teenagers getting out into it and having fun, sledging, snowballs, snowmen, snow women. And it reminded me that we are only ever one snowfall away from letting the inner child out to play. And you may not have snow today, but there might be something that can prompt that inner child in you to have some fun, remembering that we enter the kingdom of God like little children. The winters of our life can feel characterised by struggle and suffering so often. And the Orthodox Christians have a saying that our suffering can bring us closer to God, so long as we bring our suffering to God, which I think is remarkably profound. And one way that I like to do that is if you're in a situation in which you just simply can't rationalise or put into words how perplexed you feel or just what's going on, then you can at least embody a prayer beyond words. And I like to do that by simply walking up a hill, feeling the ache, feeling the struggle, and just bringing those sensations in your body as a prayer beyond words that helps you to inhabit your struggle, but also to offer it. So you might like to try that today. It doesn't have to be a huge hill, it could just be a short incline, but bring your suffering to God as a way of helping your suffering to bring you closer to God this winter. Now, it can sometimes feel, when there's not much going on above the surface, that it's a bit demoralising, but actually sometimes we can allow winter to remind us that the most important stuff that's going on is beneath the surface. Draw deep, stand tall, be patient, trust the process.